Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by True Classic. I am rocking one of their polos, and if you need something that fits you better and is more comfortable and is pretty affordable, use True Classic. TrueClassic.com/chatsports. Tell you more about them later on in today's show. 25% off with that URL. Today's show is breaking down 10 free agent targets this offseason who could fit the Cowboys and who played for Mike Zimmer. So obviously more of a focus on the defensive side of the ball, but there are some offensive players we'll discuss. Now, the Mike Zimmer hire at long last is official, announced by the Cowboys website as well. If you like the hire of Mike Zimmer, then like today's video right now. First up is Danielle Hunter. This one you probably knew was going to be A because it was on the thumbnail for obvious reasons. Hunter is the best of the free agent target options who have played under Mike Zimmer. He played for Zim from 2015 to 2021, and if you want to add a premium edge to help replace some combination of Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong, hypothetically, Hunter is your guy. Now, the medical red flags had been there previously with his neck injury, but under the radar, Danielle Hunter played out of his mind this year. I don't think he got enough hype because the Vikings were not a playoff team. Hunter put up 23 tackles for loss, leading the NFL, 16 and a half sacks. Got a couple different Pro Bowl appearances, got one this year. Hunter is an awesome football player. He's been in the league since 2015. Despite that, by the way, doesn't turn 30 until October. Now, he missed some time in previous years. 7 games in 2021, missed all of 2020 due to injury. That, in theory, might bring down his value because of the medical. He's a stud pass rusher. And you can get creative and line him up at edge, and you're going to do some Micah A-gap stuff as I expect under Mike Zimmer. Adding Hunter to that rotation is, that's fun. Now, the money might be an issue here. I would expect Hunter to command significant money from teams like the Bears or Jags or whoever, or even maybe the Lions as a dark horse destination. But if you can make the money work for Hunter, man, that's a massive addition to your pass rush. So do you want to sign Hunter? It's the pinned comment on today's video. You should know what the drill is by now. Y for yes you do, N for no you do not. Go vote at the pinned comment, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. How about the other Vikings pass rush starter, DJ Wonnum, the other edge, Also put up pretty darn good numbers this past season. 4 years with Minnesota, obviously 2 years under Zim. 3 sacks in 2020. 8 in 2021, 4, then back up to 8. Not going to be nearly as expensive, also will not be nearly as impactful. But if you want a Dorrance Armstrong caliber addition, maybe DJ Wonnum could fit that mold. Yannick Ngakoue, next up here, the journeyman center or edge who's played all over the NFL, Ravens, Jags, Vikings, of course, Colts and Raiders. Only spent a couple games with Mike Zimmer. Way back in 2020, had a couple sacks for him before getting traded to the Ravens. Raiders picked him up for a year. Colts, the Bears had him this past year. The numbers have begun to decline. Make no mistake, that is a red flag you're probably going to be a little bit worried about there. I think the best role for Ngakoue is the Dante Fowler role. Giving him a 1-year deal, cheap money saying, look, you're not a premier run stopper. You're never going to be great in that area. We're just going to let you loose, though, as a pass rusher on third downs. You're not going to play all the snaps, but if you make him to a third down specific pass rusher, I think the upside is there to have, starting to approach that 10 sack season again. Maybe it's only 6 or 7, but you're probably not going to pay more than that on a $1 million contract. So anything more than $5 million probably too much for him at this stage. You might be able to find some value in the right scheme. A shout out to our favorite sponsor, True Classic, for making the fellows look good no matter how we move. Get rid of your old workout tees with the sweat stains and holes in it that kind of stink a little bit, and go with True Classic's ultra comfortable, stretchy active wear. True Classic is made with stank-free, moisture-wicking technology, so you can do all things in comfort, from going on the treadmill to the old beer run. As long as you're moving, True Classic has the gear for you. It helped over 2 million men look great, and now you can save big while you move in 2024. 25% off for a limited time when you go to trueclassic.com/chatsports. I'm a big fan of True Classic True Classics gear. It is my go-to. What do I get my dad and father-in-law for Father's Day for Christmas? There's always something on True Classics line, whether it's new or some older stuff they've had that I love, and my dad and in-laws love as well. Whatever you choose, you cannot go wrong with True Classic. Sweatshirts, hoodies, polo, lightweight puffer jackets, jeans, ultra comfortable shorts as well. All their clothing can be mixed and matched and designed to work with your lifestyle, so you look and feel your best each and every single day. True Classic is so committed to their products, they have a 100% perfect fit guarantee and easy returns. If you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now at trueclassic.com/chatsports, and it's up to 25% off your first order. No matter how you move, make 2020 your most comfortable year yet with True Classic. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. All right, more defensive pieces here. How about Linval Joseph? He is very much a declining, run-stopping defensive tackle whose best years are certainly behind him. Made a couple impact plays for the Bills this past year in a half season, after half season with Philadelphia. This would kind of be your, Hankins retired. Let's find a cheap veteran defensive lineman to help mentor and bring along Mozzie Smith. Not a home run addition, but cheap vet depth who knows Zim well. To the offensive side of the ball, Ezra Cleveland, the Jags guard who was up and down after getting traded from the Minnesota Vikings to Jacksonville, a player I wanted at the deadline because he's better than Chuma Edoga. Same thing you're going for here. Now, maybe you trust TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman to handle those roles. If so, great. But there is some guard tackle flexibility. You would, in theory, get a glowing review from Mike Zimmer. Obviously, all these guys assume that Zim still likes them. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. Even though it is offensive side of the ball, still would probably know him pretty well. So name a free agent who you want the Cowboys to sign this season. We did the entire video with 25 guys earlier. Now we're focused more on some Zim options. Sound off for me. Doesn't have to be related to Zim, but anybody you'll want to add in the comments. How about a dark horse, KJ Osborn here? Spent several years in his career under Mike Zimmer, about half of them. Technically had his best year in 2021 with Mike Zimmer. Then again, Justin Jefferson arrives and emerges and breaks out, and it's not quite the same there. I think Osborn down to go try to find a bigger role somewhere else because obviously stuck behind Jefferson Addison. If you want a better number 3 option, more reliable and probably cheaper than Michael Gallup, Osborn's a decent dark horse name. Yeah, I'll put Dalvin Cook on here. Fight me. I actually hate the idea, but we'll get to that in a minute. Obviously knows Zim incredibly well along almost all of his career under Mike Zimmer. I have jokingly, but not really jokingly, said he's Dalvin Cook now. He did not play well for the Jets. Ravens picked him up. He had one really good run, and that was it in the playoff run. That didn't do anything else beyond that. Again, I'll do the same. Cheap 1 year, vet deal, no guaranteed money, sure. I don't think this fixes your backfield. Not this current day version of Dalvin Cook. You can promise me 2020 or 2021, sure, let's ride. But when you're averaging almost a full yard per carry less than your teammate did, probably more of a you thing. So do you want to add Dalvin Cook? Type in A for you want to add and you want to put him into the backfield, or C for he's Dalvin Cooked. Go vote in the comments section. Speaking of cooked, that might be Cordarrelle Patterson. Not totally sure. Kind of got, overlooked and underutilized after the Falcons went out and added Bijan Robinson, plus they had Tyler Algier. His numbers did fall off this year, down to 3.6 yards per carry. There is return value. There is pass-catching value. Spent a couple years to begin his career in Minnesota alongside Mike Zimmer. Of course, his role in Minnesota was really more of a receiver. Then he made the move to running back. It's worth mentioning at least. Another running back, since you're probably going to be in the bargains and buyouts option for backfields this season, Jerick McKinnon, 2014, 2017 in Minnesota, has not been as involved this year with the Chiefs. It has had, as I go way too fast, his fewest touches in his career. Only played 12 games. This was a productive runner in Minnesota for a couple years. flashy runner, offers you some third down value. So if you want a cheap third down veteran back option to compete with some other options on your roster, McKinnon isn't somebody to totally ignore. Now, we will have daily Dallas Cowboys videos for you here all off season long. Hit that sub button for me right now. I'm going to cheat on number 10 and put 5 guys on here. More various backup defenders, guys who have been under the Mike Zimmer regime in Minnesota that never quite materialized into full-on starters, but if you want to add the cheap vet, no guaranteed money depth option, 5 guys to monitor. 4 on the defensive line. Jaleel Johnson, a career journeyman. Armon Watts is maybe the best of those 4 defensive pieces. Ifeadi, Odenigbo, and Jalyn Holmes, both Jets pass rushers right now. Troy Dye, not the worst name on the list. Didn't play a lot, though, for Minnesota, and kind of fell out of favor. Got surpassed immediately by Ivan Pace, who I loved out of Cincinnati, as a UDFA. Not great options, but this kind of fills in, your very, very back end of the roster. These will probably be more long videos that maybe we'll do later on. Some longtime Mike Zimmer players who are trade options, under contract guys. Mike Hughes of the Falcons, who I don't know how much Zimmer loved him because he kind of phased out quickly. Harrison Smith, we know as a soft spot for Zim. Would Minnesota trade him? I don't know. And, of course, Stephon Diggs. Maybe the ending of his tenure wasn't great for Zimmer in Minnesota. Might be a bit of a red flag. That's part of the conversation with Diggs. That's a future video, though. But I figured we'd get some questions on guys like Harrison Smith and Stephon Diggs, so I'll at least mention them